Today I'm installing and comparing 3 of the most popular fender flares for the 3rd gen Tacomas. Welcome back everyone. I hope you guys are all staying healthy and safe. Today I've got another comparison video for you guys, and as I'll be installing these 3 aftermarket fender flares on my Tacoma. Now I've been looking at fender flares for the truck now for quite some time, and I just really couldn't find a good resource online to help me make a decision on which one to get, so I ended up getting all 3 of them. Now what we have here is a rough country, we have a Lund and a Bushwacker. Now another fender flare I was looking at is the Sidebound carbon fiber ones, but with the crazy high price point on it, I just couldn't get myself to pull the trigger for a test video, so this will just have to do for now. Before we get into the comparison video, real quickly I want to say, looking at the analytics, only about 5% of you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, but most of you guys are coming back and watching the videos. So I would just appreciate if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, show me some love. If you're new here, subscribe, let me know what kind of content you guys want to see out of the truck and new upcoming trucks that are coming as well. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the 3 fender flares we'll be installing on the truck. I do want to mention before we get started that I do have a 2019 TRD off-road, so it does come with factory fender flares, and we will be pulling these guys as we install these other ones. What we have here is a rough country pocket style. Next up is a Lund SX style, and then also a Bushwacker pocket style. Now first up, let's talk about the price. The rough country one came in around $299.99. The Lund, it was in the mid 300s. I want to say it was $349 shipped. And then the Bushwacker coming in at $449, being the most expensive. It is also going to be, in my opinion, one of the most established, fender flare companies on the market. I mean, they've been making these things for over 50 years. Next up, let's talk about tire coverage. The rough country does add 1 additional inch of tire coverage, so by pushing out. I am not sure what the Lund is. I'm going to assume it is an inch, or it's whatever the factory is on here so far. I couldn't find any data on it, and there's really not an easy way for me to measure it unless it's on the truck. And then finally, the Bushwacker, again, is coming in an 1.5 inches, so this will give you guys the most tire coverage. Why do you really need fender flares in your truck? Most people do put them on for tire coverage, especially as you're running larger tires, let's say a more aggressive offset pushes it out. You're flinging rocks and dirt, while you're on the highway. You can get a ticket for that. So in most states, you do need to have, aftermarket fender flares or mud flaps to completely cover, your wheels and tires to be, DOT or, street compliant. So one thing to keep in mind, but also, most people do put these guys on just for a look. For color and texture, rough country, it is a matte black, as you guys can see. I love the way it looks. The Lund, you are able to get this in a texture finish or a smooth finish. This right here is smooth, and as you guys can see, it's kind of a glossy black. And then also the Bushwacker does come in a smooth, glossy black finish. For the installation, I would give yourself about an hour if you are working slow. Fender flares are really easy to replace on these guys. Need a 10mm socket or wrench. Pull out your little bolts right here, and then what you want to do is on the OEM fender flares, there's going to be some 3M adhesive tape on the back here. You can heat it up with a heat gun or a hair dryer, pull it right off, or you can just pull it off right off. On the front and the back, actually, we are going to have some clips. I'm just going to pull straight back, and I'll probably just leave the clips attached to the truck. I'm not going to pull them off just in case I ever want to put these guys back. They'll be there and I'm not going to lose them. If you do break them, the clips are fairly inexpensive. You can get them from your local Toyota dealership. Next up, I'll go throw these guys on the truck, and then we'll throw up some comparisons up on the screen. First up, here are the OEM fender flares. Here are the fronts and the rears. As you guys can see, not much to them. They do look awesome. Toyota did a great job with these, but here they are. Number 2, here are the rough country ones. As you guys can see, these guys are a little bit larger. I love the aggressive look on them. I love the color. I think rough country did a great job with these guys. Number 3, we do have the Lund SX style fender flares. As you guys can see, these kind of look like they have a very similar shape to the OEM ones. And number 4, we do have the Bushwackers here. As you guys can see, these guys definitely are the largest ones. And for the final shot, here's a comparison with all these guys up on the screen. And there we have it for the comparison. Let me know down in the comments below which one is your favorite. As far as the install, I am not going to do an actual install video on these Fender flares because it is so simple. Literally, you just zip off the 10mm bolts both in the front and rear, and you peel off the factory Fender flares, and these aftermarket ones go on the exact same way. You do have the front brackets on the Bushwackers that you put on. However, for reference, with shooting this video and doing all of the different installs, it took me less than 1 full hour to do this, so it's extremely simple. I hope that this video was informative for you guys. For me, installing these, personally, I feel like they look a lot different than they look in photos I'm seeing online, so I'm glad I did this. Currently, I just left the rough countries on because I feel like for the way I like the truck to look, I think they look the best, especially because I feel like they're cut a little bit higher compared to the others, while still getting that little bit of a clearance, the extra inch. I'm gonna run these for a little while, but again, I haven't seen the side-by-side photos, so you guys actually saw that before me. So maybe after rewatching this video, I'll go through and switch them up. But for now, we are going to run these. Again, if you guys do want to pick up any of these Fender flares, except the OEM ones, I'll have links down below. If you guys do like these type of videos with the comparisons, let me know what you guys want to see comparisons on down below, and I'll try to make it happen, whether it's on the Tacoma or other trucks, that I could potentially get my hands on. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you.